without Stephen Curry, JJ Redick, Carmelo Anthony, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. I can't believe this. I don't agree with this at all. I don't agree with that at all. That's good enough to barely beat Portland, yes, but I don't think to beat us in a 7-game series.
Portland?
Yeah, they barely beat Portland yesterday
Without Steph Curry.
Without Steph Curry. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's one game. Obviously, if they lose Steph Curry, they would adapt for a whole season. I mean, for a whole series.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think you would adapt over the course of a series. Also, I think it takes time to adapt. I think you could get better with it.
Well, that's one game. That's like saying, oh well, they won 4 games in a row without Kobe Bryant. So they're obviously better without him. No, it's one game.
No. I said you're going to be worse without Steph Curry.
But I'm talking about the Blazers game.
And I'm saying and they were worse without him. Normally their point differential is 13 points.
One game. You can go through and pick anomalies out for one game of anything though.
So, but I don't believe. I think Melo will put them over the top offensively, and I think it's like what's Steph Curry? It's like this. Without if y'all, I wish I could diagram this for y'all. But without Steph Curry, I'm like my hand is at my palm, and the other hand is about a good 4 feet in the air. With Steph Curry, it's just so much closer. I just don't understand this. I think you're taking so much credit away from Steph. He's from the Clippers. I just don't get it. And this is what overall coaching can do for them. If you're starting Sean Livingston and you cut down that rotation even more. And then Sean Livingston doesn't shoot threes. That condenses the core a lot more. Who? I mean,
16 and 10.
So I mean, I think that condenses the core a lot more.
4. It was close. Okay.
It was
27-4-4.
Didn't Draymond average the triple double?
No, he averaged 6 assists.
It's not a good series.
Yeah, good. I just say it's a good series. I just say it's a really good series actually. Shot 40% from deep. Great series. Curry just had a better one.
Oh, okay.
Simple as that.
Whatever you say. I shut your opinion.
Okay, that's cool.
But I don't believe that. What's that? No, I mean it's just like if like the fact that Russell Westbrook having a triple double, but James Harden's having a better season.
No, it's not like that at all. Actually,
it is.
It's really not.
It is.
But it's not. 16 and 10 is vastly different from 27-4-4. It's just different.
It is different.
It's very different. I don't think you would look at someone saying 16 and 10. Man, I take him over 27-4-4 for a season. Not really, you know.
Especially what he does defensively. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he had a great series.
Yeah, we're not disagreeing on that.
Obviously, one guy. If his team would have won, he would have won Finals MVP. If the other guy would have won, he didn't. He didn't win the Finals MVP. So, I'm just saying. But hey,
you think he would have won Finals MVP?
Draymond, yeah. Who would have won over him? Steph Curry? No.
Probably.
No.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Draymond played better than Steph Curry, but I think Steph Curry.
Draymond was going to win the momentum was pushing for Draymond Green
because he got suspended. Nope, I disagree with that.
Yeah, because if he would have came, they lost the game. If they would have won Game 7, they lost the game that he
didn't play.
For.
They would have held that against him. I disagree that he would.
No, he would have won it. Draymond would have won the Finals MVP. But
I think people would have held back on him.
Going back, I think if you're talking about without Steph, that's the only thing I'm talking about. If without Steph Curry or whatever, then I think the Clippers have a really good chance. Even though Golden State would have home court and everything like that.
Chance. They played 6 games. I mean, wrong.
I don't think that I just don't see how without Steph Curry these guys beat the Clippers with Carmelo Anthony. And do you think that they're a good matchup for Cleveland?
Who?
The Clippers with Carmelo and that starting 5 against the Cavaliers as they're currently constructed.
Yeah, good matchup though. Do you think do I pick the Clippers to beat them?
Would the Clippers beat them?
No.
Why not?
I just don't think they're a better team than the Cavs would be.
Even with Melo.
But you keep forgetting the point. You don't. If you're coming in, he's coming in mid-season.
Yes.
You don't get integrated mid-season. A big-time player like that doesn't get integrated mid-season. It just works out perfectly fine. It works kinks out, and that's what I'm saying. And my biggest problem with picking them is Chris Paul doesn't come back until the end of the season, so he's gonna have 2 weeks before the playoffs to get right with Chris Paul and get on a chemistry with Chris Paul. It's just gonna take longer than that.
I think with a guy like Chris Paul is such a good he's such a good distributor of the basketball that.
And plus, their bench will be empty.
Their bench will be empty. That's the same scenario with Golden State and Cleveland. It's not like Cleveland has a bench either. Cleveland doesn't have a bench. You just run the same way Cleveland runs theirs now. Yeah. So it's not when we're saying the Clippers would be devoid of a bench. It's not like Cleveland has that much of a bench either. LeBron's been crying for a playmaker. Whenever their bench comes in, they have to keep Kyrie Irving or LeBron James in the game whenever they go to the bench. That's the same thing the Clippers would do.
No, they don't. But Brendan, they wouldn't have any playmaking at all off their bench. They don't have any. The only person coming off their bench will be Luke Bamamute, really. I mean, you lose Austin Rivers, who's your backup point guard. You lose Raymond Felton, who's your backup point guard as well. You lose Jamal Crawford, who's your backup shooting guard. So really, all you have is Luke Bamamute, Paul Pierce coming off the bench still, maybe. Mm-hmm. I can't even think of anyone else, to be honest.
But the thing is, off the bench of Cleveland, who do you really have that's a playmaker that makes plays on there either?
But the problem is that's what they're trying to address. If they get that addressed right now, and remember, Iman Shumpert goes back to the bench once J.R. Smith comes back. So you're going to have, hopefully, a point guard that they find that can fill in. Iman Shumpert, Kyle Korver, blanking on the 4 right now. It's not Channing Frye. I'm blanking on the 4. 4, Channing Frye. I mean, that's still a better bench than anything the Clippers can put together.
No, if you put one of the stars in with the bench, I don't think that's much of a... And I don't know if they're going to trade both point guards. I think the deal was because they might be giving a pick away. If they're not going to give away Austin Rivers, they have to give away a pick. Or if Raymond Felton...
Austin Rivers is going to be included.
But then they wouldn't give away Raymond Felton. They said they're not going to give away both guards, all their guards, for Melo. They said they would either include a pick or something in between. They wouldn't give away all their guards. So, and then there's a possibility that Melo could also come off the bench as well. So, I mean... It's an interesting dynamic if it happens. I think it'd be a good move. I think they should make the move. Cause I think at this point the Clippers have hit their ceiling.
So you say it's a negative. So hold on a second. You say trading for Carmelo is a negative, but it's a good move because putting him on that team that has 2 ball dominant guard people already. Okay.
This is why I said his 40-point performance decreases trade value. Mm-hmm. But I think for the Clippers, he would help them because he's the offensive lift that they need. Because the Clippers, they get outside of Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, they don't really have any offense. And then JJ Redick doesn't really create for himself at all. The Clippers need something more so of somebody that can create for themselves, as opposed to somebody that's going to be just another spot up 3-point shooter. That's what I think the Clippers' issue has been for majority of the time that they've been together. They thought Blake Griffin was going to become that go-to guy, and he really was that guy. And then, apart from when Chris Paul's hurt, but whenever him and Chris Paul on the court at the same time, they're not that guy. Okay. And Blake Griffin never really attacks in games when unless Chris Paul is off the court, he doesn't really seem to attack as much versus when Chris Paul is on the court, or off the court. So I think that Melo will be that offensive lift that they need them, but defensively, I think he would possibly scale them back. But I think you have DeAndre Jordan that could help you out in a lot of situations. In case somebody gets by you, you have DeAndre Jordan waiting for them at the rim. Let them out. Okay. All right, y'all. We're going to transition into our next topic. We're going to talk about the 49ers' decision to bring in John Lynch as their new general manager and what we think about it. Stay tuned, y'all. It's KBR Sports, the best sports talk show 24-hour day. Don't forget, y'all, after the segment ends, wait for about 20-30 seconds, refresh the page, and our segment will be back up on there.